Hello there, my name is Dyfrig and I'm Warhammer Cosplay. Welcome to my workshop. So I got into cosplay 8 years ago, maybe 9 years ago now, something like that. My friend Marcus Beldon Smith is the one who got me into it originally. He got me into steampunk, which at the beginning was just me in a waistcoat, and I think I had a brass cane, and I sort of gelled my hair back and stuff like that. And I went to Cardiff Comic-Con with him and a few friends. And when I walked in and saw everybody dressed up, I just instantly just fell in love with it. The second year we went, we made a piston arm for me. Like I say we, me and my mate Marcus. He sort of helped me with the brass and stuff like that, and we got it all sorted and actually sort of got a piston mounted on it and it actually moves and stuff like that. He's the one who originally got me into it, but since doing the whole steampunk thing, I've moved on to being a Ghostbuster and now moving on to being a fully fledged Space Marine. Right, the Iron Warrior. So, yeah, where to start? When I went to a Cardiff Film and Comic-Con, I met a guy called David Roth, and I'm going to be name dropping him quite a bit because he's the one who started off me coming into sort of the Space Marine side of things. And he at the time was 9 foot something in this massive dark red gold sort of detailed sort of top to bottom Corn Berserker Space Marine with an enormous chain axe. So I liked his page and I sort of started-ish chatting to him and liking some of his stuff. David helped me get all the information I needed, so Pepakura, where to get the files, how to do this, how to do that. But David and I were at a convention, but we spoke to a guy there who was running part of the show, and he ran an event called, at least I think he runs the event, but he has an event called Play Expo, and it was in Manchester. David and I were like, can we come to Play Expo Manchester and build a Space Marine in front of people? And everyone was like, that's quite insane, because people see the finished product at a convention. People see the finished cosplay that people do. And when you're walking around in your cosplay, people are like, how'd you do this, how'd you do that? Well, why not show people how it's done? So we got the idea, we started rolling with it, and we built the frame, sort of just the bare foam at Play Expo Manchester. That con forever will stay in my memory because it was me, David Roth of Exeter Cosplay, and my friend Marcus Springle, and people would like come to the table and be like, this is insane, this is how you do it. We were there hot gluing, cutting, putting stuff together. Now I say cutting, Marcus did most of the cutting, like hats off to him. He did most of the patterning and cutting out of everything, and I can't thank him enough for that, because without him just constantly cutting stuff out while David and I were stomping the floor, I wouldn't have a Space Marine today. But I was so proud. I was like, the three of us went out to do something and we did it. We built a Space Marine in just under 2 days. And I know it's not like a fully wearable Space Marine because like half of it wasn't even like attached, but I can't tell you how happy I was. So after coming home and having the Space Marine in just all grey foam and glue, got it all cleaned up as best as I could. And I took it upon myself then to paint it completely black. But obviously it was too dark, so I went at it with dry brushing, and I used some metal trailer paint. It's like a flake metal paint, and I would dip a small paintbrush in it, throw it out onto a palette, and then dry brush with a huge brush. I had this biggest brush I could find, and I would dry brush it all over the suit, and I did 3 layers altogether. Then bought my first tin of silver paint at Halfords, and I think it was Ford silver I bought, and I sprayed it from a distance all over it, just really lightly, just to sort of get like a metal effect, but I wasn't happy with it. So I went over it again while it was still a little bit wet. I went over it with the brush again, and it gave me such a nice effect that I really liked, that to me looks quite metally. So once I did that, I was like, there we go, that's done, brilliant. Now, still don't know what chapter I'm picking. So my favorite Primarch is Perturabo. So I looked up that sort of stuff, and spoke to David, spoke to Dave, and spoke to several friends of mine. The Iron Warriors really, really spoke to me, because I have a guy who used to come to the Apocalypse. He has an Iron Warriors army top to bottom, and the stuff is insane. The hazard stripes look amazing, the models look incredible, the bulldozer helmet, I call it a bulldozer helmet, sort of the bulldozer wedge helmet looks so cool. And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to do me an Iron Warrior Space Marine. So I went at it, left the colour scheme as it was, but started doing more chaosy spikes and stuff around it, because I decided, you know, the Chaos Undivided, I'm just going to go for the Chaos route, because you can be messy when it comes to Chaos. You can just throw anything on and just, you know, cover it in blood and you'll be fine. So I went for Iron Warriors. What I've decided to do with the Iron Warrior was use the first helmet, the standard helmet I had. A friend of mine made it for me, commissioned her to make it for me. It's just the standard, I don't know what mark it is, but it's the standard Space Marine helmet with the triangular grille and the eyes and the sort of pointed piece and the ears and the two tubes going in. I forget what mark it is off the top of my head, but I had one of those. I kind of liked it, but it just didn't look right on the suit. So I went back to her again and commissioned an Iron Warriors, I think it's a Mark III bulldozer helmet, and I got that helmet, and again, heated it with a heat gun, Thompson's 10-year roof sealed it, I put metal mesh into it, I put a one-way visor into it. It looked amazing. The actual helmet itself sits a little bit proud of the collar, so it just makes it look that much better. That helmet just started to deteriorate a bit after using it so much and it being thrown about and everything. So I built a new one, and that new one now is made out of 10mm, but it's got a layer of 5 inside it as well to sort of strengthen it. It's heavier, but it's more, I feel it's more heavy duty. I feel I can throw this across a room and not worry about it at all. Whereas the other one, I sort of wanted it to make sure I didn't damage it too much. I try to build my props and stuff that they're really tough to break. Like, that's what I try to anyway. This is the first gun I ever made. It's a Volta, and I was just going to demonstrate how tough they are. And there you go. Nothing wrong with it. The whole suit has been a massive sort of collaboration with loads of other cosplayers, and mostly, and the most important part is, not just cosplayers, but friends. And I think that's when it comes to the community, friends are what you need, because I remember that people have helped me here, people have done this, people have done that. So when they come to me saying, oh, I really need this, I'm like, I'll do this, I'll do this for you. But I'm getting to the point now where I've got a laser cutter and I feel like I've gotten the tools I need. The next thing for me now is a bandsaw. I feel like that's going to be really good. I'm going to get stuff cut out. I'm going to make more weapons for the Iron Warrior. And I feel he's going to get better and better and better. I don't know if anyone saw recently, but I hope you did. Out of scrap foam and stuff I decided to build a saxophone and recreate the, I think it's an Ultra Smurf on top of a Land Raider playing a saxophone. He's playing Epic Sax Guy, and I just thought it was the coolest thing, so I decided to just build me a saxophone. You can see it there in the background. And I put a speaker in it and just started, you know, messing around in a car park, and then David came up and we did another video of me dancing and him playing the saxophone, and it's just stuff like that. You can't take cosplay too seriously, because if you take it overly seriously, it just gets boring. So I feel the Iron Warrior has sort of put a pin in it for me now. Like, that's what I really like doing, is big costumes. When it comes to the Iron Warrior, he is as he is. All I do is add to him occasionally. I buy him some stuff, I'll build him some stuff. There's other things I need to alter for him, but right now I love him as he is, and you guys seem to too. I mean, I've just hit 5,000 likes on my cosplay page, and I genuinely can't thank you all enough. So yeah, I'm within.